Alright, so today we're taking a look at Dead Space Remake. Now, this game right off the bat, I will say performs a lot better than Callisto Protocol. I noticed on the initial boot up of the game, it does compile shader. It took about a couple minutes. Again, that's on dependent on how fast your system is. However, it is not perfect. There is some stutter here and there, especially when you're going from area to area. They're more like micro stutters, and when you're in the menu, but it's enough for you to notice. So it's not perfect, but it is definitely not as egregious as Callisto Protocol when it first launched. I wouldn't say that it ruins the experience, more like, but you'll notice it, but it's nothing that is going to hamper your enjoyment. Now, the game does support ultrawide, which is not a surprise, as the original supported ultrawide back in 2008. In menus and cutscenes, seems like everything is done in engine, so that is nice. Now, I didn't notice an FOV slider, which is disappointing, as I found Isaac a little bit too close to the screen, just a tad. But yeah, unfortunately, there's no FOV slider. Now, I did found a couple bugs in the graphical option. For some reason, when I changed to DLSS to quality from balance, after restarting the game, it just reverts back to balance. So I have to make that change every time. And also, speaking of restarting the game, initially, I had the game running at a little over 100 FPS with everything on max. But for some odd reason, after restarting the game, I am not able to hit that mark anymore. It just hovers around between 60 and 70, regardless of what I change. Even if I change it to low quality, ray tracing off, everything just seems to hover around there, and there's no difference in the frames. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Now, when it comes to graphically, I will say the environment is on par with Callisto Protocol. However, Callisto Protocol does have better facial animation, and overall, the character model is a lot better. It doesn't. The Dead Space remake has kind of like a doll-like model to all the characters, which is unfortunate, but because everything else looks really good. The shadow, and if you have an OLED screen, you are in for a treat. Now, I will say if you replayed the original in anticipation of this remake, I think you will find that because the remake is so close to the original in terms of replicating it, that you're not going to be surprised by a lot of things in terms of the enemy placement, especially the intro, because it's so very close to the original and they didn't really add anything new. At least I would say in the first few hours, you're not going to be surprised by a lot of things in the game. In terms of the feel, the way you control Isaac, everything feels the same to the original. That could be a good or bad thing, depending if you're looking for a slightly different experience. You won't find it here in the remake because they did a really good job of transferring it one to one from the original. So if you're one of those that really like to, to play the same game, which is better graphics, then they did a good job on that. But if this is your first time, then yeah, you're gonna be in for a treat because this game is amazing. As for if this game is worth for a price right now, if you played it recently or you played it before and you still remember a lot of things from the original, it's hard to say because it's so close to the original with just better graphics and sound. Not to say that the original didn't have good sound, but I don't know if it is different enough that it warrants the full price for if you played it recently. All right, guys. So that wraps up my quick impression of the PC port. Overall, it is a good port. I would say about another patch should be perfect. But yeah, pick it up if you've never played it before. It is definitely a great survival horror game. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Take care for now. Peace out.